everybody, welcome to the VAU Mic Check. Tonight we're going to talk about character development and developing a character based off of when you get a side that has a storyboard. As we don't see very many of those on the Mic Check, but I have one tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So this is the deal. Okay, this side right here has a couple of characters on it. It's kind of hard to read some of it because, of course, it was copied in. But you have a tiny little kind of a fairy type of character. He's this really tiny little kind of character like this, but doesn't necessarily have to be. And why I'm saying that is because the character is not entirely about how you sound. Okay, this little guy could sound as deep as Frank, or as high as I just sounded. Now, originally, when I did this, because I did this character, he sounded like this. I can't stand it. It's just too cold out here. That kind of sound. But he doesn't necessarily have to, because it goes deeper. It goes into your personality. But we're talking about building a character based off of what we're seeing right here on the storyboard. What he looks like, how he feels, how he's interacting and reacting to the scene. And that's all part of character development. Way beyond just the standing in front of the microphone and flapping your gums and, hey, I can make some noise here and that makes me an actor. No. What makes you an actor is you can build something off of, what you see right here on the storyboard. Now, a lot of times, sometimes you don't get storyboard, but you still have to build a character off of description that's given. He's 5 foot next to nothing, and he's got a deeper voice than the deepest bass singer on earth, and that sort of thing. And you got to build a character based off of this and all that description. Well, in this case, we have a visual description, and we have a character named Dingle, and we have a teenager character named Blue, and they are interacting with one another. They're in the woods. They're trying to find a campsite. They're trying to pick up sticks, do the whole camping kind of thing. And so with that, what we're going to do is we're going to have everybody create that character based off of what they see and how that character needs to be built by what they see in him interacting on the storyboard.
Okay, so we're doing Dingle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are we doing Blue?
Yes.
Okay, so it'll be two people reading at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And hello, 0 Point. I don't know who 0 Point is. Or is that Michael's phone?
It's my phone.
Okay.
Hello, Michael's phone.
Hi, Michael's phone. Welcome to the VAU Mic Check. I told at the conference, I made a point of telling a lot of people about this Mic Check. So we may have some new readers and that coming in over the course of the next little while.
Fantastic.
Talent in that. So.
I'm in contact with somebody now. So
I'm hoping one day to take.
I'm just talking about talent in that.
To Atlanta for VO Atlanta. I would love to take. I'm 2 hours away from Atlanta. I would love to take the VAU Mic Check down there.
Why don't you next year?
Do a live mic check from this year I had to put a roof on my house, but
no, next year. I mean, don't forget you save a ton of money just by being able to drive there as opposed to having to fly there.
That's a good point.
I mean, it costs you basically from where you are, half a tank of gas to drive there. So maybe it's but I'm saying between that and driving around in Atlanta and going back home, it might cost you 2 tanks of gas or something like that.
True.
So I mean, unless you drive a semi truck or something like that.
No. I drive a relatively economical vehicle and try to keep it gassed up as much as possible. Anyway, back to VO. All right. So as I was explaining, we're working off of a storyboard tonight and developing characters based off of what we have on the storyboard, complete with the direction. So we get to pick our characters, same as we do with any dialogue script, and then play off of those characters.
So when you're doing narration, Nathan, like for something like this, how much latitude do you have to read, for lack of a better term, around the words? Or do you have to stick to the script exactly as if you were doing a narration or an e-learning or something?
Well,
and when I say talk around the words, like for instance, it's like the second panel there where it says blue, don't pretend you're sleep. It's blue. It says don't pretend you're sleeping. Could you throw in something just to get yourself more into the line? Go something like, come on, don't pretend you're sleeping. Like, is it possible to do something like that and not be frowned upon, or?
If you're narrating it, and you're narrating and interacting with the story, you can be a little bit more flexible. Now, if you're just doing straight overlay narration, there's a tendency to want to stick a little bit more with the script as you're telling the story and not inside the story.
Because I know one of the things that I was told this past weekend was in a lot of cases, and I was always under the impression that all the narration or all the animation and everything, etc., went first, and then the voice talent was the last thing to come in and read to what was on the screen. But what I was told was more and more and more now what's happening is the vocal track gets laid down first, and then all the animation and everything is done based on the vocal track, so that if the artist or the talent it does something like that where they say, come on, don't pretend you're sleeping.
That's the normal way. The normal way is you lay down the vocal track first. And as far as it's very production specific. Some productions they don't want you to change a single syllable. And others they want you to have a solid improv background and just take off on your own, and they'll do if they're doing the animation afterwards, it doesn't matter. They can pare down the dialogue to whatever they think works best and then spend the money on the animation. The exception is things like dubbing for anime, because there the animation's done. But even there, the original animation, they record the Japanese voices first, then they animate it, then they ship it over, and then we have to fit the animation.
Yeah, but even at that, like when they have anime and the mouth is moving, the mouth doesn't move like when they, like Disney or somebody like that does animation. I mean, they make the mouth movements to almost fit exactly what is being said. Whereas in anime, it's just this circle that kind of opens and closes and opens and closes like that. So there is no real mouth movement to go along to the words. So you could still probably act around it a touch, and it still fits in with what's being said.
They actually end up tweaking the anime scripts quite a bit so that you match whatever the mouth flaps are. So they try to make some sort of sensible script that makes actual sense in the story, but it has to also match the flat. And sometimes they'll say, let's redo that one because he ends with his mouth open, so we need an open vowel on the end. They'll take it to that. It didn't used to be that way. It used to be there's 5 seconds of mouth flaps, just talk. But that's where you get the stereotype of really badly voiced anime. The newer stuff is they try to match as close as they can.
Yeah, they're getting better, but that's basically what the way that it works.
Yeah.
I will take over the world. That is the world that I will take over.
Speed racers.
Yeah, that was the old style. Now what they'll do is they'll actually take generic mouth movements. They'll try to get it close, but they'll take generic mouth movements in the scene and try to extend it or shorten it or whatever to fit what the dubbing actors do.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to practice with subtitled anime. I mean, which I am a big One Piece fan, and all they have it in is Japanese anymore. So I'll just pick a character and I will go with it during the show.
What's One Piece? That's a particular show?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, it's been around for like 15 years. They have the characters are very much like certain Marvel characters. Okay, you have Luffy, who's a rubber man. He can stretch like Mr. Fantastic. Okay, except he uses his in a way where he uses martial arts and all kinds of stuff. And I mean, it's a heck of a lot cooler than Mr. Fantastic in the way he handles his being a rubber man. But but you have all these different mutant type characters, but they're pirates. And they're after a treasure called the One Piece, which is a treasure that's rarely ever referenced in the show, but it's the whole premise for the show is they are sailing around the world to try to find this treasure that was left behind by a pirate named Goldie Roger. So that a lot of fun to watch. Really good anime. It's done by Ichiro Oda, and he is an excellent writer. And sometimes I wish American television was written the way he does this anime, just because it's that good. But, anyway, back to our copy. And this being sort of anime in style, but at the same time, we're not following lip flaps. We're just learning how to work with a storyboard.
Well, then why don't you show us the way?
Okay.
Yes.
And who wants to take the blue character first?
Dead meme.
That would be the teenage boy.
I guess I'm the youngest.
Well, here's the thing.
Wow.
This is what in my explanation at the beginning. It matters not your age or your vocal tone. Now, I know that most of the time someone like me would be cast as a teenage boy before, say, Frank or Michael. Michael would probably be cast as a dad just because of the depth of his voice.
Well,
yes, he's
I will
20-something
say this.
years younger than I am, but guess what? I sound 20 years younger than him.
Well, here's the thing, though. That's not quite so true anymore. My wife is rewatching an anime she was really, really into way back when called Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple.
I love that one.
They have the whole thing takes place in high school, and one of the enemy characters is voiced by Chris Rager, and I don't know if you know him, but he plays Hercule in the Dragon Ball Z series, and Mr. Toad.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
From Borderlands. So like this guy, he's not, he definitely does not have a teenager sound, and he's playing a teenager. So honestly, the voice quality truly doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's more the attitude and the and how
it's definitely much more the attitude. Although when it comes to dubbing, it's more so your experience with it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was explaining in my explanation at the beginning here is that your personality. When I say your personality, I'm talking about you, the character, because when you're doing this, that character is you. And so it's your personality, how you think, how you act, how you interact with the other people in the scene. And of course, the storyboard gives you a good, solid guideline as to what's really going on. Aside from actually watching the animation in motion, being able to look at the storyboard and say, oh, look, he's like half asleep. So, oh my God, I can't take this. I want to just sleep. Please let me sleep. Yeah. And you can just get into that based off of what you see there. I made Frank yawn. That was terrific.
You did.
Oh,
man.
Yes.
What an actor.
Frank's over there just like about to fall out of his chair after I did that. Yeah, it's all based on what goes on the inside, why my tagline is giving heart and soul to every word, not giving a dynamic voice to every word. I got a voice, or I wouldn't be a voice actor. But that voice, and like I said in my little video that I popped in to invite everybody to the mic check, it's a layer on top of all the other layers of things that you do to create a character. And it's that final layer. It's that icing on the cake. It's that bit where all your fans are going, oh
my God, I heard you and what a voice.
That's wonderful. How did you like the character? You know,
Aw.
there's a person involved, you know. There's a person. So, you know, unlike what a certain on-camera actor said about standing in front of the microphone and just running your mouth,
Let's go to the store.
you know, it's deeper than that, more layered than that. Of course, it doesn't seem that way because, hey, as accomplished actors, we can make it look easy.
So where do we start on this story?
Okay.
Where's the first set of lines that we're getting into here?
Okay.
What page?
When
Like, it looks like I can't read anything legible until we get down to about page 3.
Yeah, that's
I
the
see.
one we want right there.
Okay, 3.
is that where it starts with Dingle's tired eyes in the storyboard?
It's it says
Yeah.
Dingle is very tired. He rolled over to
Yeah.
side, crawls like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
caterpillar. So the first lines that I see that are actually legible are Dingle heard Blue is calling him, and Blue says, "Hey, Dingle."
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, right there.
Dingle.
See the so tired.
Oh, that's just
Okay.
above number I'm 8. so tired.
Okay, well it was going to be Nathan and Philip.
Oh,
Nathan.
So who's again?
Nathan, I thought Nathan is Dingle and then Philip, you're Blue.
Am I blue? All right.
Okay.
You gonna yawn or should I? No.
So tired.
All right. Let's put up here tonight. Camera pan. La, 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 la.
Who's Melody?
Where are you?
Yeah, I'm lost.
I'm on the second.
Oh
I'm on
my
the
gosh.
second. Okay, so
I thought we were at the top because
yeah,
it's
at the top, the top is the first page.
Yes.
Whatever, we're still on the first page, whatever that is.
Yeah, but can't read anything. It's so light in color and all this kind of stuff. I can't read anything. Like the
Fuzzy.
first thing that I can see on here that's legible, other than directions for cameras and that, is on page 3.
And
If
then
you look-
you don't see where it says ding. Let's see.
Like
When
I
it starts
can't.
on
It says the page that says number 7 at the top.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go by
Yeah.
that. That makes it easier to find.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Oh, the page number on the top. Okay, can you, Frank, like, I had to increase my screen. I had to increase my view, zoom in on it, and make the pages
too.
bigger.
where
so
do
that
I where do I do that? Oh, down at the bottom there. I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. No. It's just it's very
it is light.
it's
Yeah.
very light.
Yeah, it was scanned in, and that did not help it too much. Of course, I didn't scan this in. I got this from somewhere else. So when it was originally sent to me, it was scanned in.
Okay, so I can so let's build a fire. I'll get some wood. But then I can't read whatever it says after that. It's just too light. It's not coming through.
Blue walks a Dingle. Blue picks up Dingle. Melody, Jingle are laughing.
No.
You can't.
Okay.
No?
No.
Oh, no.
Like I said, it's the top of what is
If
it
you-
here? Page top of page 3.
3.
Phew,
Okay.
finally a bed.
I have it. What is the well, no, I guess I just have it open in PDF. Okay. So it looks blurry, or it's just too light.
It's just too light. It's just
It's
not
too
it's
light.
just not showing up. That's all.
Yeah.
When it was scanned, it need to be like darkened
Sure.
scanned or something.
Yeah.
So
Do you
But you know
think
what-
if
you know what,
turned
guys?
Your room lighting on. If you turned your room lighting on, Frank, would
Hey,
that help you?
Nathan, if you'd like, I can hop out real quick and actually type this up. I can read it fairly easily. We can have it as at least text based.
That's a good idea.
All right. I
Okay.
will take care of
And
that
we'll just
right
keep
That
now.
would be
the storyboard
awesome.
in front of us too. So
Well,
I
thank
guess
you,
so.
Michael. Thank you.
thank you, Michael.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Michael.
Thanks
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
didn't realize
Hopefully it
it was
works out.
going to be this bad. My apologies to everyone. I did not realize that the text was going to come out like this.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, some of
If you
some of
guys
the
can
text,
read it, if you guys can read it, start us off by all means and go, and I'll just wait till the darker stuff comes in.
yeah, and some of the text is a little bit wonky. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Page 5. Why would you always picking me up?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that had to be
Um,
adjusted.
Yeah.
It's in an accent.
okay.
Why
okay.
would you always picking me up?
Yeah.
Actually,
Why
actually,
would you
it's,
always picking me up?
actually, the scene is supposed to play out like this.
Why would you always picking me up?
Ah.
So it's supposed to be.
I actually did this, so.
And you know what? I'll be honest with you. It's just page 2 and a little bit of page 3 that's light. The rest is
Okay.
fine. So I mean, when it
What
comes
you're referring to is
to read
page
with whoever,
3 is page.
I can just we can
It's
just
number
slide it.
5 and
Number
number 6
5
is what
and
Frank's
number
talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'll go ahead. I'll jump out. I'll start typing this all up,
Okay.
so we can
Okay.
just have a text-based view of it. So be back
Yes.
soon.
Yes, my apologies to everyone for the way this text has come out.
Okay. And then is it just the 2 characters, because I see Melody, or
Yeah,
does she not talk?
The other 2 characters don't really interact.
Okay.
As far as when I did this, it was just me and me, because I am both Blue and Tingle. So,
Oh.
yeah, and initially Blue was supposed to have been voiced by a lady, and she said, "Well, hey, you know what? You can do this." So, yeah, I'm so thankful for my range. It's not a brag. It's just love the fact that my voice does this.
But do
Alright.
you want to
Let's
start
hear-
on the top of 8 then? Number 8 to start with?
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Don't rest yet, lazy bug. Come, let's go get some firewood. Don't pretend you're sleeping. Come,
What?
we'll be back soon.
Oh my, I hate you.
I love you too. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Why would you always picking me up? Just let me rest. I am not in the mood for this. Whatcha? Ay-cha!
Huh? Hmm?
Ooh.
What did you do?
Go away.
Blank page.
Ooh, I think I hear something.
Hey, stop being a chicken, Dingle.
A chicken? I'm no chicken. I am one brave bug.
Yeah, right.
Dingo, there again. Didn't you hear that?
Hear what?
Yeah!
And scene.
Yay. Wait a second. Oh, never mind.
Okay. At the back end of this scene is when the girls pop out of the bushes and they get surprised by them. So that's where those girls come into that scene. So anyway,
Okay.
we'll
Very
cut
cool.
the scene right there. Mostly it's Blue, or it's Dingle
Yeah.
wrestling with a stick.
Messing around.
doing his best to karate chop that stick off of that log that he's got in front of him. Well, with Dingle's character, it's predominantly childlike effort noises.
I got nothing to offer because I know nothing about this genre. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
Well,
So-
that's the thing with it, and once again, it's the storyboard thing. Developing that character off of what you're seeing in the scene. So, doing the karate chops and, shrugging his shoulders.
So I'm going to say, great job.
Adding,
Go Nathan. Go Nathan.
adding. Well, like Philip, that was fantastic. Cutting up, laughing like that. Yeah, instead of just, and then you did. Oh, you didn't take that laughter workout with Lisa Biggs, did you?
No.
Oh,
Who?
man, you missed it. I took I did a workout with Lisa Biggs a couple weeks ago, and it was all wrapped around laughing.
What?
And it was fantastic. Okay, I mean, just really great. But anyway, that was a good job of laughter.
It does come in handy. I had one coach who said, it doesn't matter who the character is, you should know how they're going to laugh, even if it's like an evil undead something. Give them a laugh just to hear what it sounds like. And
okay, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in a sense, like when I did this particular character, of course, I kind of had I just kind of did the shrug it off kind of laughter, like, "What you do?" and kind of went in that direction with it.
Oh, huh.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see you do that. Just kind of back it off just a little bit. I mean, terrific laugh. You just back it off just a little bit and just kind of like, incorporate it into your sentence of what you do.
All right. Oh, are we doing that?
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll do this again.
All right. We starting on page 3.
Okay, that would be number 7.
Oh yeah, number 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Dingle! Don't rest yet, lazy bug. Come on, let's go get some firewood. Don't pretend you're sleeping. Come.
Oh, what?
We'll be back soon.
I hate you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why are you always picking me up? Just let me rest. I'm not in the mood. What? Watcha!
What did you do? Gosh, really?
Go away.
I love you too. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Blue, I think I hear something?
Hey, stop being a chicken, Dingle.
Chicken? I'm no chicken. I'm one brave bug.
Yeah, right.
Dingle, there. Again, didn't you hear that?
Hear what?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Philip picks up his vocal cords off the floor.
I guess.
Wow.
Alrighty.
So, are you guys going to switch?
Yes, we are. I was about to say that after I recovered my voice.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
I will admit, okay.
Even for this range, this is a stretch. I'm
Oh, my.
stretching my vocal cords a lot.
Okay, then I'm not going to do that.
Now for you. Okay, so not about pitch, about attitude, personality.
All right.
So here we go.
All right.
Hey, Dingle!
Mm,
Don't rest yet, lazy bug. Come on. Let's get some firewood. Don't you pretend you're sleeping. Come.
What?
We'll be back soon.
Oh my. I hate you. Why would you? Always picking me up. Just let me rest. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in mood. What? What? Oh.
What'd you do?
Go away. Blue, I think I hear something.
Hey, stop being a chicken, Dingle.
Chicken? I'm no chicken. I'm one brave bug.
Yeah, right.
There again. Did you hear that?
Hear what? Yeah!
That hurts just to hear that.
Yeah. If it hurts, man, don't do it.
Oops.
You got to use a little bit of control in there and play with the soft palate a little bit so you don't damage your vocal cords.
I was going to say there's some kind of technique that you're supposed to use.
Yeah, it's raising the soft palate, and you can now with me, I do a backwards scream, and it doesn't mess with my vocal cords at all.
What does that mean?
It's a little bit more of a monster thing that I do. Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay.
Are you inhaling? What is that?
Yeah. Well, it's actually how I do my dog bark. Same way. I actually learned that from watching Frank Welker on a video once.
Oh.
Yeah, because he showed about doing this thing where it's like you're doing it backwards.
So you're
Dang.
That's actually
you're inhaling.
I'm inhaling.
You're okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
ready to be called up.
I mean,
It's good for all kinds of monsters too. You have a lower voice.
Yeah, it's fantastic for doing monsters. Yeah,
What I could do for dinner?
What has this thread turned into?
You can slow it down and get a little fry in there, like a
Wait,
Really? Huh?
Sherry just like
You get it.
That's, you know what? That's going to come in handy when the kids get really wild at home. Break into this mom.
It's like I'm gonna pop out of your stomach.
The problem is when I'm like playing with this out in the yard. I mean, like unloading groceries out of the car, and I'm like doing this dog bark thing. Of course, we got dogs all over the neighborhood. So what does that start?
How?
Every dog in the neighborhood is doing that. I mean, it's like, but I've come. A little side note is, and I've got to just like do this one day and record it because there's like multiple different styles of dog bark, and I did record some of them just to demo that I can do this. And you know you've got the sloppy bulldog thing. And then, of course, you know, you've got the dog that sounds like the car that won't start in the winter. You know, and of course, the Chihuahua, which I partly learned that tone from watching and listening to Mel Blanc all those years. Just, you know, because he used to do all kinds of dog stuff too. So, but yeah, that's just, you know, there's all these different, you know, ranges you can do with dog barks.
Who's reading next?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful segue, Frank.
Yes, that was a beautiful segue.
I'll do Dingo
So to
next.
come back to this, who is reading next? Okay.
And
I'll read with Richard.
Okay.
Oh, this ought to be great, Frank.
So who is Tingle?
Well, mind you, though, I don't have. Well, I've got the starting at page 8, but poor Michael's gone out and he's madly typing away someplace right now.
Yes.
You want to start being blue, Frank?
Am I blue?
Yeah.
Am I blue? Am I blue? Since I
these
go
tears in my eyes coming through. Am I?
Sure. Yeah, I can be blue.
All right.
Frank Sinatra style blue. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, he can do that. That's the thing. Oh, like we were talking about, attitude, personality.
For dinner at 8. Hey, baby. Don't forget to tip your waitress and try the shrimp cocktail.
Or the shrimp grits, whichever.
With the shrimp grits.
Don't forget to try the shrimp and grits. They're really good.
All right, so where are we starting on this thing here?
Top
then?
of 8. Let's just start there.
Starting on top of 8, 6, 7.
Not page 8, but where it says number 8.
Number 8.
Yes.
All right. Well, so I'll start. Well, actually, I'll start right at the bottom of number 7 when I go, "Hey, Dingle."
Oh, I forgot that. Yeah.
How does that sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Dingle. Don't rest yet, lazy bug. Come on, let's get some firewood. Don't pretend you're sleeping. Come on.
Oh, wow.
We'll be back soon.
I hate you. Why would you always be picking me up? Just let me rest. I'm not in the mood.
What did you do?
I think I hear something.
Stop being such a chicken, Dingle.
Chicken? Why, I'm no chicken. I'm one brave pug.
Yeah, right.
There again. Can you hear that?
Hear what?
Yay!
Good job, guys.
Yay!
Oh, that was fun.
I like these almost Gollum tingle. oh,
No, precious. I hate you.
He's a little scary that way.
So, like in the beginning, though, Richard, when Frank was saying, "Hey, Dingle," in the very beginning, you don't have any dialogue, but when Nathan did it, he was doing sound effects and he was improvising in between Blue's dialogue.
You think about go with the storyboard. You look at him.
Yeah, so look at your character. So make some noises, even though.
If you go back up through right on to number 7 there.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now, and I was
Okay.
looking at that. I was trying to find the.
Start with him. Watch the storyboard first, and look at him laying on the sleeping bag. Okay, and you think about it. Okay, it's like Saturday morning, and all right. If I remember all those years back, 30, 40 years ago, Dad getting me up to do yard work on a Saturday, it was almost impossible to pry me out of bed, man. I was going to sleep in unless I was watching cartoons, sleeping in, so you got that attitude going on. It's just like, oh, God, no, turn the light off, please. That kind of thing. And yeah, that's basically what it was like. So, but you watch his attitude because you look at it, he's laying down on the mat, and then he flops over on his stomach, does a little crawl up into a little fetal position kind of thing, and then he flops back over on his back. What was it? That scene with Jim Carrey? I think it was one of those movies he was in, where somebody pulls the sheet off him and he's just flopping all over the bed, that kind of thing going on. So it's just like, and then you just kind of pull from that and use that while you're in between, hey, Dingle, and then, so that's what you feel that because, that's what's going on in the animation.
Yeah,
so
he's being disturbed, and he finally verbally says, "I don't want to get up," but he's making all the.
That's part of acting off of the storyboard is the fact that the storyboard is saying what the text is not saying, and giving you something to play off of. So you are actually building into that scene that. I did a scene. I voiced a parrot on an animation. And the parrot, okay, he's flying, he's calling out to this dog. Well, he doesn't just call the dog's name and just keep flying silently. And so, he adds in, parrot noises and whatever. But what added to the scene was he's calling the dog, "Hey, doggy, 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 come here, doggy, hey, dog," that whole thing's playing out during that scene in what is a non-dialogue space, so you're just kind of adding to that and making, you can make it fit and make it work that way, or just the ad-libbed noises and the grunts and groans that you make when you don't want to be woke up and somebody's poking you and it's like, come on, please don't pull the blanket off of me, I don't want to be cold. Okay.
Gotcha.
So with that,
it's like being an extra character in the theater. Like, you're in the background. You can't just stand still while everyone does stuff. You gotta,
you've got.
What? Why not?
Richard.
Yeah. If you're too still, then you actually distract from everything else. So you gotta do stuff.
And like, okay, he's flopping around, but he's so silent.
Should we do
Nobody's
it?
ever that silent.
I'm ready when you are.
From the top.
Do it again with Nathan's direction.
Yes.
Certainly.
Here we go.
Hey, Dingle. Don't rest yet. Come on, lazy bug. Let's go get some firewood. Don't pretend you're sleeping. Dingle, come. We'll be back soon.
I hate you. Why are you always picking me up? Oh, just let me rest. I'm not in the mood.
Huh? Huh? What did you do?
I think I hear something.
Hey, stop being such a chicken.
Oh, chicken, I'm no chicken. I'm one brave bug.
Yeah, right.
There again. Oh, didn't you hear that?
Blue, hear what?
All right.
Fantastic.
All right.
Yay.
I feel
I liked
bad
all your
because
noises.
He read
Like
through.
your noises.
He read off of the storyboard.
Richard. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said I liked all your noises. All your improvised noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad because Michael, like I said, is out someplace. He's madly typing away, and it's just it's the first couple of pages that I can't see, but beyond that, from where we're actually starting on this, I can see it.
I think it works.
Can you text him, Nathan?
I think so. Hang on.
Maybe text him and say, "Come back."
Yeah.
He wants, or maybe he went to dinner or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's probably sitting out there having a ham sandwich right now.
Yeah.
All that talk of food before we
Okay.
started.
So,
And we're
Are
just
you
in here
going to
playing with our dingle.
Oh yeah. Oh
wow.
Oh my.
I keep accidentally calling him Tinkle. I've been playing too much Zelda.
So are you guys going to switch, Frank?
Yeah, that's fine. I got no
Yeah,
problem. I'll give Dingle a try.
All righty.
If you don't mind having, like, well, I can't do quite as high as you guys do, but
You're just supposed to do what you do.
What you can do, what's capable, just make it go as you got something in mind.
so we'll do Dingle with a cold. That's why he's good.
Oh, poor Dingo.
that works.
That's why he's so tired.
Oh, I got cold.
All right, you ready?
Anytime you are.
Okay. Hey, Dingle. Don't rest yet, you lazy bug. Now, come on, let's go get some firewood. Don't pretend you're sleeping. Come on.
What?
We'll be back soon.
Oh, I hate you. Hey! Why are you always picking me up like that? Just let me rest. Oh, Dingo not in the mood.
What did you do?
Oh,
Goodness.
go away! Go away!
Oh.
No! I think I hear something.
Hey, stop being a chicken, Dingle.
Chicken! I'm no chicken. I'm one brave bug.
Yeah, right.
No, there. I can. Didn't you hear that?
Hear what?
Nice.
All right.
I like you made me laugh, Frank. I like that.
Good with the improvised effort and noises and trying to get awake.
Yeah.
That was fun.
There we go.
Fantastic.
Next.
Hey, we can
Well,
see Thong tonight. All
Jerry,
right.
Jerry and Michael here in a minute. I let Michael know that everybody seems to be having an easier time reading the copy now. So,
Yay.
Well, again, it was just
Come on,
because
man.
if we were doing the first 7,
Yeah.
like, you know, then
Yeah.
no, it was hard. I couldn't see anything. But I mean, if we're doing just starting at this page, then
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
He was probably almost done too. Poor guy.
I had pulled this copy and I had completely forgot about the way this text worked in some of it. So,
All right.
yeah.
Did we lose Joe?
Yeah,
yeah,
he had to head out. So he said we were doing a great job, guys. So
Yay. Woohoo.
great stuff.
Well, does does he do a lot of animation work and all that?
Yes, he does.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Oh yeah, he
I
did say
want to hear Sherry read this.
something.
Wait a second.
I think
Okay.
Sherry's going to do very well as Blue.
Oh,
As
yeah.
Blue?
Or
Yeah.
Dingle.
As Blue or Dingle?
Yes.
Get to try
Yeah.
both.
As Dingle.
Yes.
As Dingle.
Well, that's the
I can
interesting
do. I
thing.
can do either one. I get to do both,
Yeah.
but not at the same time.
We got to wait for Michael to come back soon. Well,
I
either that or Nathan can read with you.
Wait.
So, in the meantime,
Yeah.
In the
Did
meantime.
I know you texted Michael? Did he respond?
No, not yet. Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah. Okay,
Nathan.
he just finished typing out the rest of that.
Oh,
We don't need it. Never mind. Yeah. Poor
I
guy.
was going to say,
Just
Nathan,
just throw him a bone.
pop your head out the booth and let him know, would you?
Just you know, just
There he is.
hey,
Hey.
hey.
Norm. Oh, Michael.
Michael!
Like right as you messaged me that you were done, I literally just finished.
Yeah.
That's what we were joking about. We're like,
All right, all right.
Okay. What we've got it down to is the starting line is with that page that's labeled number 7, where it
Yeah.
says, "Hey, Dingle." And then it goes from there, and then we're stopping it where Dingle and Blue are,
Screaming and
albeit surprised by the people who pop out of the bushes.
Before we go any further, I have to apologize to you, Michael, for making you go out and do that. So, well, no, because I again,
No.
like the first few pages, I
Right,
could
it's
not, I
terrible.
cannot see. They're just sort of. But then I didn't realize we were going to be starting where we're starting, and then as we got down to there, then it started to become clearer. So I am really, really sorry for you going out and doing that. I do
Well,
apologize.
I mean, if you want to, like I said, I just finished up. You're welcome to take a look at the text, the plain text version.
Yeah. Just
I've-
shared with us.
I've already read.
Yes, and they did a fantastic job, those two, Richard and Frank.
We had fun. The old guys were having a great time.
What flavor is your chapstick, Michael?
Let's have a discussion on that.
Berry?
Berry.
Berry.
Berry, boy.
Berry cherry, cherry berry.
Strawberry.
Strawberry voiceover chapstick.
Strawberry voiceover chapstick.
There we go. We'll call it voiceover
Very
chapstick.
nice.
You know what? I can my lips can get so chapped sometimes. I mean, they're literally cracking every time I open my mouth. I cannot wear chapstick.
I use coconut oil.
And you're recording.
That's
I
my
can't
point.
stand
I
chapstick.
I can't wear anything. I feel like when I used to, do plays in school and that, and they put lipstick on you or whatever for the stage and all that. I cannot stand that feeling. I just hate it. Having something on my lips. It's just like,
Frank Stecky will never play the new Mrs. Doubtfire.
no, God, no. There's no Tootsie in my future. Trust me.
Well, oh, yep. They're going to reboot it. They'll try to hire Frank anyway.
Okay.
Sherry,
you're
So,
reading.
yep,
now,
I
Michael.
haven't taken. Yep,
So
we get to take a turn, Michael.
we're going to pair up Sherry and Michael.
All right.
You guys are the last ones to get to read tonight.
Okay.
And
So we'll start where it says number 7.
yeah, number 7.
So
And
I'm
of course,
assuming
remember,
then
there's
I'm playing blue.
yeah. Now,
Well, you get to do both eventually.
the
Oh, okay.
storyboard is kind of out of sync with the way the dialogue is going in this. I don't know if anybody's
Yeah.
noticed that,
A bit.
but that and
Well, I mean, that's what I tried to fix
Yeah.
a little bit
Figure-
in the
yeah.
plain text version.
Okay.
I tried to make it all match up.
okay.
Like
In the meantime, they're over here cackling and cutting up and watching.
Yeah,
here I am trying to help everybody out, and I'm
But-
missing
but-
out on all the fun.
but here's
Sorry.
one thing that we have learned. Okay, because when I got this side, all right, and didn't get the privilege of a Michael Montez plain text version. I got the side as is, and had to go with what I had.
Well, here's the
So-
deal, Michael. If you ever get up to Canada, I'll buy you an ice cream. Okay.
Aw.
All right, next time I'm in Canada, I'm going to hit you up.
So
Well, but specifically Winnipeg. Like I ain't driving to Vancouver for a
For an ice cream.
so with what it was is figuring out and reading from the storyboard as well as from the text, because ultimately when this thing is animated, what we're seeing on the storyboard, like I was talking about Dingle flopping around on the bed, not wanting to get up, please don't pull the blankets off me attitude, and this is what I was discussing with Richard, where, ad-libbing in the effort noises that go into what happens when you're getting disturbed and you don't want to be, like getting woke up on the weekend to mow the lawn. Dear Dad, I love you, but I want to sleep unless I'm watching cartoons. It's like, I don't want to get up. And you got somebody jerking the blanket, like, come on. So, but that's where that storyboard is starting at, is that whole bit right there that's going into that scene. And so you're having to, as Sherry had put it, improv into that scene something that's not written down in text, because they added effort noises when he's wrestling with the stick. They added, a whole
Well, even before that
lengthy
line,
scene to that.
before the line, "Hey Dingle,"
Yeah.
the other Dingles.
Yeah. He's flopping around like Jim Carrey, doing that thing.
All right, so we're going to go from Hey Dingle down to where?
Down to
Where we're scared and screaming, which is
I will.
number. It's marked as number 3.
Ah, yes, there.
Where
Yeah.
where they say,
There it
"Did
is.
you hear
Found
that?
it.
Did you hear that?"
Mhm.
Ah!
Yeah. Right after Blue, calls him a chicken, and yeah, right. So, with that, who is going to be our little bug character first?
I will be the bug.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
Unless Michael wants to wrestle me for it, I'll be the bug.
You want to start off with the bug? That's fine.
Okay.
I don't have a preference.
I'll be
Soon
the
as he's done
bug.
typing, he'll
I'm the
wrestle.
bug.
Now that I'm done
Fuck.
typing, I think I know the lines fairly well.
Nice. All right.
Oh, the fun we have on the mic check.
Tell you what, Michael, I'll make it a double scoop, okay?
Aw.
With syrup. Real
Awesome.
syrup.
Thank you.
And nuts and a cherry on top.
Real Canadian maple syrup.
Hold the cherry, and you've got a deal.
Oh, you don't like cherries?
Nah, I'm not a big fan. Of
Really? Ooh. All right, it's a deal. I'll put pineapple on it instead.
We throw a little
works.
black bacon
Maybe-
in your on the side, dearie.
Pineapple, the fruit that bites you back. All right.
Okay,
Are you
are we
ready, Sherry?
ready? Yep.
Let's do this.
Mm.
Hey, Dingle, don't rest yet, lazy bug. Come, let's go get some firewood. Don't pretend you're sleeping. Come.
What?
We'll be back soon. Come on, let's just go.
Oh, Mike, I hate you. Why would you always picking me up? Yeah. Not move. Just let me rest. I'm not in mood. Ooh-cha! Hmm. Achha! Ow! Ow! Ow!
What did you do?
Go away! Oh, shh, shh. Blue. Oh, I think I hear something.
Hey, stop being a chicken, Dingle.
Chicken? I'm no chicken. I'm one brave bug.
Yeah, right.
Shh. Listen. There again. Didn't you hear that?
Hear what?
Jerry, your facial
Fantastic.
expressions are a hoot.
I like that added in something that no one else did tonight was
The stick hitting you on the head.
shh.
Oh.
I think I hear something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Took it from took it at a totally different perspective. That whole leaning in, which is even better because of the fact that you've got that where Blue is right next to Dingle, and Dingle's right at his ear. So that was fantastic.
Well, thank you.
Woo!
Oh, a star is born.
Caught
I
that
like
piece
how
of
you
the
acted with your
storyboard.
whole body.
We all, including
yeah.
myself, who's done this, left out.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Thank you.
And then with the whole, because that's the thing with these things. It's all the body language that's involved in being a character.
Well, the other thing that you picked up on that I thought was really cool. I mean, I saw it, but I didn't really pick up on it too much in that. But you were like almost like you were crying at one point because there's the storyboard where the branch or whatever hits you on the head. So you were like, oh, like you did that a little bit, like you were sore because it hit you. I don't think anybody else really picked up on that either.
Oh, he has tears coming out of his little bug eyes.
Well, yeah, but again, I mean, it's a little bit, light, so it's hard to see. But yes, you're the only one I think so far that's really picked up on that fact.
Fantastic.
So, kudos to you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, and then we get to switch.
Yes.
I guess we get to switch.
You can be.
Hold down your excitement.
Be the
Michael
bug,
gets to
Michael.
turn on his big
Be the bug.
hat and-
Simmer down there, Big M. Simmer down.
All that time you spent typing when you could have been here
I know.
voicing. Channel that.
I'm telling you,
this
M
is-
Square is just completely pissed at me right now.
He's trying to be nice about it
He's
because
just this
not
simmering
angry.
volcano, but
he's just a nice guy.
as soon as he leaves the old whisper
I'm
booth,
not
the boy
angry.
doesn't whisper.
No, the only time I can't whisper, if that makes any sense, would be in heat while I am in here. The only time I can be loud is when I'm here. All right. Well, I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Someday I'm going to meet Michael's wife, and I'm going to say, "Hi, I'm Frank Stecky."
Oh. She's gonna say,
You're
well, he's gonna
Friend.
say, Michael, he doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
He's not nearly as big a jerk as you said he was.
Oh, God.
all those four-letter adjectives you used to describe him.
Okay, my little bug friend.
All right. Let's do this. Oh, finally a bed.
Oh no, hey Dingle. Come on, don't rest yet, lazy bug. Come, let's go get some firewood. Don't pretend you're sleeping. Come.
What?
We'll be back soon.
I hate you.
Oh, here's a good stick. Oh, yeah. Oh, this stuff will burn well. Okay.
Always picking me up. Just let me rest. Not in the mood.
What did you do?
Head.
Oh, a Dingle. Oh.
Blue, I think I hear something.
Hey, stop being a chicken, Dingle.
Chicken? I'm no chicken. I'm one brave bug.
Yeah, right.
There again. Didn't you hear that?
Wait.
Over there.
Hear what?
Fantastic. Hey,
Michael is an
grabbing your head.
excellent bug.
Well, like I said, I kind of got familiar with his lines.
Yo,
all that typing
you're not
well.
gonna let me forget this, yo.
Well, actually, see, it's my apologies as well because, see, it's been a couple of years since I looked at this copy, and I had completely forgotten there was some smudged lines on this thing that you couldn't really see.
And then
My
there's that big,
apologies too, Michael.
there's that big water bottle ring he left.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this had been scanned before I got it. I printed the thing when I did my read of this copy, and actually read it off of paper. It was the one thing. That's a rarity in here. Is usually I read all my copy off of a screen, but I printed this one, and I thought about it. I'm like, man, that would be great for doing about storyboards. And it's tucked away somewhere. I found it on a hard drive. I'm like, yes, I have a copy. But that being said, that was a great final read for the mic check tonight. Fantastic, Mike Check. You guys are
Claps all
great
around.
actors, all. I mean, really, you know. We've got a variety of people that do a variety of things in voiceover. But the thing of it is you guys have heart and soul, you know, and that's the thing about voice acting is heart and soul. Now, I am quoting from my own tagline, but yeah, that's mine. Giving heart and soul.
A little bit of self-promotion. Never
but the thing of it is that's where it starts, you know. Like I said at the beginning, the voice is just a layer on top of all of the emotion and the action and the ad-libbing that goes on to create that whole scene that this storyboard artist has worked so hard to lay out. You know, I mean, we're adding to the imagination of this artist to add to a story that's being told. And part of that adding to the story is when they give you that visual representation. You know, we don't always get that. You know, of course, in animation, we're more likely to get it than in anything else. You know, especially if we're doing anime. There's a possibility we get it if we're doing video games just because of the nature of video games. They're a lot more like cartoons that you can control than anything else nowadays. But that being what it is learning to add to that scene, you know, and seeing that picture. Like, what was it? I thought about this the other day because, you know, somebody handed me a birthday card, and it was one of those cartoony birthday cards. And they're like, hey, you could probably create a character out of this. And truth be told, yes, I could. And yes, I did. So, but just because of, you know, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, he's doing this, he's moving in this position, and he's got, you know, and I'd say he's probably got this type of voice, you know, and he's talking like this because he's, you know, from, you know, one of them deep South rednecks, and, you know, it's just about like that. And pulled a character from that. I thought, you know what? This would be a great way to do the mic check. Storyboards, you know, because that is something that not all of us, but some of us will end up working with. Michael's, his goal is video games predominantly. Is it not?
Yes. Eventually.
You know?
That's cool. Well, and even if your goal isn't to do cartoons or to do video games, doing this kind of workout where you're doing characters is excellent just for pushing your range and for stretching and for loosening up.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. If you're doing audiobooks, what was it? I heard Pat Fridley say he did like 90 some characters for one single audiobook. You know, there was actually 9 of them on a raft. It was, I think, for Tom Sawyer or Huck Finn, something along those lines. All these different guys having a conversation with each other. So, you know.
Yeah, even
it stretches
Tim
you.
Keenan, he was talking at VO Atlanta when he was on the narration e-learning panel, and he talked about the different ways that e-learning has developed, and there's the gamification of it. So there's still characters that you might be asked to do even inside a narration piece or an e-learning.
Absolutely.
One of the X sessions I was in, I'm not going to say who it was, but he's a very, very, very highly regarded producer who used to work in the music industry in Los Angeles and now is based out of Dallas, so people can kind of figure it out themselves who I'm talking about. And he was saying one of the best ways to come up with characters, and maybe you would agree with this, Nathan, is just do really bad imitations of famous people.
Yes, yes. A bad impression is a new character every time.
That's what they do on The Simpsons. Like Mayor Quimby is a bad impression of Kennedy.
Yeah, but he says a lot of people I know who do audiobooks and come up with multiple characters for multiple books. He says they kind of read who the character is and kind of get an idea of a celebrity and then just do a bad impression of that celebrity. And it changes it enough that it's obvious you're not doing that character or that person, but yet all of a sudden you've come up with a character that you can do. And only you can do it because only you can do that bad impression.
And it's funny because I was doing this the other day. I love doing this when I'm like on my way to work in the morning. I got a nice little 10-minute commute, but in that short time, I'll just start warming up and playing with things. And I was the other day just messing around with impressions of certain people, and I got this Jack Nicholson thing going on. And I thought, okay, if I layer in a dialect, some kind of accent on top of Jack Nicholson, if I change it up to sound like this, it comes out something different, but it has a bit of a piratey sound to it.
Yar.
Yeah, see, it just kind of, I took a Jack Nicholson impression, layered in a dialect, and all of a sudden it sounded like a pirate.
Yes.
If I add a bit of gravel to it, you know which pirate it becomes. So,
you don't want to be fearing the wrath of Blackbeard.
So yes. It's character creation is such an awesome way to stretch yourself out, and and then you're walking through the grocery store, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to try this, and you pick up the box of cereal with a certain tiger on the front, and you're like, they're great, and everybody in the store stops and goes, what?
Or even watching people in real life, or people that and then you can, some people you don't need to exaggerate it at all, or you just exaggerate a little bit. You just make them a little more ridiculous, or amplify those particular characteristics just a teensy bit more. And John Cleese, when he did Fawlty Towers, there was a guy who's actually like Basil Fawlty in real life, and they would stay at his place, and the other guys are like, this guy's such a jerk, and John Cleese purposely stayed with him at his hotel or bed and breakfast or whatever it was to study him. And they would go, what are you doing? That guy is a jerk. He's like, no, this is great material. So,
hey, I've gotten most of my characters have come from people that I know.
Yay! Do me, Nathan. Let me hear a Sherry.
I don't think I can do Sherry. I can try to do Sherry, but I don't know if I'm capable of sounding like Sherry as much.
And how about me?
Well, I don't know if I can get that deep.
I gotta tell you again.
I gotta tell you, when I was still working mornings,
one of the sessions I was in Atlanta, there was a guy there who, no word of a lie, made me sound like Mickey Mouse.
Oh, I bet! Wow,
talking from his toenails. What?
Holy cow! Did this guy have bass? My goodness me! I mean, he was deeper than Barry White.
Wow.
And if you remember what Barry White sounded like from back in the
the
advantage of it, you should have heard this guy do Morgan Freeman. I remember the summer of 1955 when Andy Dufresne came to he just did. He was so bang on. If anybody ever needed a Morgan Freeman impression, this guy was it was amazing.
I can guarantee I have heard him. There's a local commercial here, and I know it's not Morgan Freeman. I can tell it's not. But
not if it's a local commercial.
So like him. But I mean, it's like, yeah. Well, I mean, this place being the tourist trap that it actually is,
North Carolina.
I'm curious to know, Michael, when you're doing characters, how do you prepare?
How do I prepare?
Mm-hmm. How do you prepare, and
how do you create a character that's needed? What's your process? Process.
No.
You can say process. You're in Canada.
Totally
yeah. You're not reading copy.
You see, the thing about the characters is that I like to focus on is what's going on around them. Because if you want to make a character sound really good, I mean, you can have the pipes, you could deliver the lines, but if you sound completely disconnected from what's going on, then your read doesn't really count for a whole lot. For me, the most important, for me, the way that I sort of do it is I put myself in different situations and think about how I've reacted in situations like that before. What were my mannerisms? What was my tone of voice? What was, going on in my head during those times? And what I try to do is, instead of coming up with different vocal sounds to create characters with, I try to put myself in the situations that these characters could be in. That way I could sound convincing as someone in that world.
Okay.
In all the different shows and that I've been in and all the different characters that I played, it helps me get into a character mode by the old backstory. Where did they come from? How did they get to where they're at? And then they have some personality, and then it just kind of comes out after that. Here's where they were, this is what they did, and all of a sudden, that's who you are.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you know the story around your character, that builds your character. Yes. I mean, the sound will develop from that. It may be that the sound itself really isn't even important. Take an actor like Nolan North, for example. He doesn't need to change his voice up much to play different characters. He's the exact same character as he was in Spec Ops: The Line, or the exact same voice he used in Spec Ops: The Line as he did in the entire
Assassin
Uncharted trilogy. And yeah, he used his plain voice in Assassin's Creed, and he was 3 completely different characters, because more so than just his sound, his feeling fit the scene. He's got a great sense of place. Like, he sounds like he is from that world. And from what I've been gathering from all of my study and from all of my research and whatnot, that is the most important thing. That is what everybody's looking for.
A sense of place.
Somebody who sounds like they're from there.
Interesting.
Yeah, you could come up with a great vocal sound, but if you're, at the top of your lungs loud all the time, that's not going to make much sense.
Right.
Or, if you're too quiet when the scene requires you to be in a mid-tone, if you don't pick up on the subtle cues like motion or like labor, like, I remember being in classes before and being completely pulled out of what was going on, because, like, clearly at the top of the script it says, at the end of a long hike or something like that, and nobody notices that. They're like, so that was a really great hike.
Instead of like,
yeah, even just a little bit. You don't even know. That might even be way too much. Like, if this is somebody who understands that this is a good hike compared to a bad hike, they've probably done some hiking before. It might not be that bad, but
it would be for me right now.
That was a good hike. You add a little bit of airiness to your breath, and that sort of gives the illusion of you having gone through the hike. Right. So,
very cool.
For me, the most important thing about a character is not necessarily the character's sound. It's more of what their personality is like and where they are.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
And I've always found the sound will come once you have that. It's the cadence of how they speak in that, from, like you say, from where they've been, and all of a sudden they are.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the song Cotton Eye Joe. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? As soon as you answer those questions about your character,
Cotton Eye Joe.
You've got a character. Like, as soon as you can answer those 2 questions, where's your character from? What's their motivation? What's going on with them?
Right.
That's the most important part.
Absolutely. All right, gang.
Guys, thank you.
What are we doing next week, guys?
We don't know, but this is the end of this week's mic check.
Okay.
You guys are fantastic.
Woo!
And next week, Michael will be introducing a mic check, and we don't know yet what it's going to be, but it's going to be good.
Stay tuned.
Know that.
I've got an idea. The problem is finding a script specific for it. Although I've got a good idea of what to do with it.
Yes, I do understand that. So it's going to be fantastic. Hey, if you haven't joined us, we have a Facebook group, Voice Artist United, VAU Mic Check, and if you're watching us on the YouTube channel, come on down and join us live. It's even more fun live and in person. Way more fun than just watching us all act crazy and not live and in person. So with that, we will see you guys next week. Bye.
See ya.